You quit your job or you tell your boss, okay, I'm gonna stop with this, I'm gonna pursue ecom. What were the next steps and how did it go?
So the first months were actually pretty difficult for me because, like I said, I quit my job. There was no income. I came in cash flow issues pretty quickly. And Dennis is a really good coach. He told me, go work again, and then we'll make a good plan on how we can get you to success.
So how was it for you to take that side job?
The good part about that is, though, I was forced to do that. And I also told myself, like, hey, Jake, if you're not going to make it in ecom, you're going to be stuck here at DHL, you know? And I was like, no, that's not for me. So, and just by being consistent, actually, I remember very clearly the month May, we had like minus 3K in loss. And the next month in June, we actually hit the first 100K month, which is like such a big gap.
Now we are 1.5 years later since you started even. So what are you doing right now? How have things transformed for you?
We're now doing consistently 200K a month, which I'm very proud of because I've actually had a lot of, downs, ups and downs, but now doing that consistently is very good. I also have a team of 7 people now. So yeah, we've been growing a lot actually since then.
Share maybe a lesson or a mistake you made and now you have a lesson out of it.
Of course, the first lesson, which is pretty clear, is in the beginning, if you don't have like a stable income, make sure that you always have like a
Yes, guys, Samo Nua here. Welcome to another interview. Man, I'm always excited for these ones. This one is with Jake. I recorded this one a few weeks back in Marbella, and man, it's a very powerful one. Jake's been able to scale to 200K plus a month, and he is one of my first ever clients. Therefore, to me, this interview is special. Go check it out. A lot of valuable nuggets being dropped. Ciao. Yes, everyone, welcome to another interview. This time I will be doing it with Jake. Jake is, or was a client of mine actually already for over a year that he joined. Back then it was called Elite even. And right now, of course, the name is Millionaire E-commerce. So yeah, crazy. Good to have you here, Jake. How are you going?
Doing good, man. I feel honored to be here and also share my story in this interview. So yeah, I'm excited to share my journey and my stories.
It's going to be a good one. So yeah, Jake, for the people that don't know you, can you briefly introduce yourself?
Yes. So my name is Jake. I recently turned 21 years old. I've been in the e-commerce space now for 1.5 years. I joined Samuel's first course in 2022 at the end in December. And yeah, it's been a crazy journey so far. Had a lot of ups, also a lot of downs, which is, of course, very valuable because then, of course, you can see what you're doing wrong. And I'm yeah glad to share my story in this interview.
So it's crazy that you are still so young, bro, because you just turned 21. So maybe can you take me back a little bit to a year and a half ago or just before you started or found ecom? What were you doing back then? Can you tell a bit about that?
For sure. So, I to give a little backstory, in 2022, I recently finished my study in Amsterdam. I was studying hotel management, which was something very different, of course. So at the time, I was working in mostly hotels, and I remember I was working at the W Amsterdam Hotel, which is a 5-star hotel in Amsterdam, and that's basically where I already got introduced to a lot of people having money. So because the rooms there are not cheap, so people came in there. I was checking them in. I was working as front office, so I already got like in touch with rich people. And from a very young age, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I never really knew how to start. So I already thought at the beginning, like, I want to start my own hotel brand because, yeah, I was working in the industry. But of course, I didn't know that it's very difficult to start something like that. And it's also not profitable at the beginning. So I remember very clearly, I went on my vacation with my parents to Bali. And I was watching some YouTube videos there because I was already on the algorithm of like self-improvement and stuff because yeah, I always was interested in growing as a person. And I came across Samuel's videos. It was back then it was still in Dutch, and he was explaining like how he made his money. So it was actually the first time that I got really inspired because I've seen dropshipping ads back then, but I didn't really believe that it was true. And now finally, the first time I saw like a young entrepreneur like Samuel inspiring, telling how he made his money, that he has a brand and stuff. So I was like, okay, screw it. I'm gonna go all in with this. So I saved up all my money. I went to my manager, I remember very clearly, and I told her like, "Hey, I'm gonna quit my job. I'm gonna do drop shipping." And my manager was like, "Are you sure? Because entrepreneurship is very difficult, and you're gonna just quit your job." I was like, "Yeah, I want to go all in, burn my ships, and invest in this program." So that's basically how
Bro.
it started, and yeah, been a crazy journey.
So, how did that come about? Because were you already like kind of frustrated with the job you was doing, or was you really this inspired by what you saw online, my videos, and like a new world open up to you that you was like, fuck it?
Yeah, it's basically very similar to your story that you shared about yourself, that you saw like a new world open up, and this is like a chance that you really have to take. So I remember back then, like I said, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I never knew really how to start. And then hearing from someone your age, almost a bit older, telling you that you can make money online from your laptop with selling products, that was just is priceless for me. So I really thought I have to go all in for this. So yeah, I was already inspired by the videos, but also it's my why. I think that I already knew I wanted to do entrepreneurship, and this is like a chance that I have to grab.
So yeah, walk me through it. You quit your job, or you tell your boss, okay, I'm gonna stop with this. I'm gonna pursue ecom. What did you do? What were the next steps, and how did that go?
Yeah, so at the time I scheduled my first call with one of your closers, and he told me, of course, what the price was for the course. So basically, I didn't have enough money actually, so I had to get some money from my parents. Um, and yeah, that's also one of my biggest mistakes that I made because I kind of underestimated the whole entrepreneur game, also ecom, because I invested all my money in the course, but I didn't have any money left to do advertising and pay my supplier. So the first months were actually pretty difficult for me because, like I said, I quit my job. There was no income, but also all my money was going out on my last money was going out on testing products. So I came in cash flow issues pretty quickly, which was very very difficult because you have to imagine you're very hyped, you want to start, but then something is already you get like the first obstacles that are testing you. So yeah, basically I remember my current coach at the time quit, and I asked for a new coach, Dennis, at the time. And Dennis is a really good coach. Like he told me, like, hey, you should get a job right now because I know you want to burn your ships. I know you want to go all in on ecom, but you have to have like a side job on the side. So he told me go work again, and then we'll make a good plan on how we can get you to success. So I remember getting Dennis as a coach. I started working again. I've had like a job at DHL, which was very demotivating. I really didn't like it. And actually, with
Uh,
Dennis, as my first coach, he actually helped me to my first 1K day already in the first week, which was insane to me because 1K might not seem much now, but back then for me it was life changing, man. Honestly.
I remember my first 1K day, bro. And it to me, I only hit it after 10 months doing ecom, and it's a big milestone, right? But now, when you
Yeah.
look back, of course, you know how much more you can or is possible to achieve, bro, because the world is that big. So, yeah, crazy. Then you had to grab your balls together to work at DHL.
Yeah.
Was you not like, okay, I don't want to do this because I took on a side job as well in the beginning. I did something similar. I was like filling up trucks and then having to drive them and this and that. But I didn't like it as well. So maybe it's even good because to me it made me so motivated to succeed with ecom that I could also quit that side job. So how was it for you to take that side job? Were you like, okay, fuck it, I'll do it, or were you in the beginning also like, man?
Yeah, so it was of course very demotivating for me because I already invested in the course. I already saw what is possible, seeing like the results of all the clients. So yeah, going back to DHL, that's like a totally different environment. Like compared to all these people want to have like successful lives and just grinding in e-commerce, going back to like a place such as DHL where the people are not really smart there and they also don't really have any ambitions in life. That was very demotivating for me. The good part about that is though I was forced to do that, and I also told myself like, hey Jake, if you're not going to make it in ecom, you're going to be stuck here at DHL, you know? And I was like, no, that's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
for
yeah.
me. So it
And
was a
it's
good
good
motivator,
you,
but also,
yeah, it hardens you also a bit. So, what was the moment that you started doing 1K a day, and also maybe, yeah, just walk me through maybe the first weeks slash months of you in the program. Like maybe what were the obstacles, and yeah, what were the numbers you started doing with time?
yeah. So when I started the course, I already built a Shopify. I was actually starting in the United States, which is crazy because it's not beginner friendly at all. So Dennis told me as well we should switch markets. So he told me to go to the Danish market. And yeah, back then he actually gave me a lot of products which were doing really good at the time. So he helped me a lot, and he also told me like, "Hey, send me your testing products every single day. So which products you're gonna test, I want to have a look at them." And yeah, he told me like your creatives are looking shit. You have to do it like this. So he taught me a lot of new creative styles and also which type of products I should focus on because I was doing all over the place, like gadgets, everything. And he told me to focus more on clothing, so fashion, which is also my most successful niche. So yeah, we started testing clothing in Denmark, and yeah, actually from there I had like two winners that picked up really well, which we scaled to the first 1K day, which was was a lot for me. And then actually the week after that, we managed to scale to the first 2K day. So that's how it
Wow.
started, basically. Yeah.
And how is you looking at what you were doing at the time? So you go to 2K days. You're still working that side job, if I'm not mistaken. So what was kind of like your plan?
So my plan was, of course, to scale to higher days, which was like my biggest focus at the time. But also, I really wanted to go fully into e-commerce. Like that, it's just the only thing that I do. So my biggest, yeah, the biggest goal for me was to quit my job again, like I did last year, and this time for real, and never coming back to like the 9 to 5. So yeah, that's also what I was working on at the time. And I remember also making the same mistake later on again by quitting that job and then having to look for another job again. So yeah, I've made some
Well,
stupid mistakes back then. Yeah,
so yeah, how did, because this, you joined December 2022, so quite some time ago.
yeah.
Maybe you can just walk me through the year 2023, because what were kind of like the wins? So maybe the best days you did. What were kind of like the pitfalls? Yeah.
Yeah, so actually after my first 2K day, that's actually where my darkest days became actually because after that I got my first Shopify payment hold, and because I was still working my side job, I didn't have a lot of income, and my winners were also not really yeah, getting enough money in. So actually, after those 2K days, I um, I had like 3 months in a row. I actually made loss, which was a big struggle for me because when you make like loss 3 months, and especially in the beginning, you get like in this negative spiral where you think that you're doubting yourself and you think, maybe it's not working for me. What shall we do? And yeah, Dennis actually was coaching me really good. He told me, okay, you should go to the Dutch and Belgian market, which we tested all our winners from Denmark over there. But we were kind of unlucky, no success there. So yeah, actually 3 months it was just struggling, but had to go through it. And that actually made me, yeah, the person that I am today. Because if you're facing these obstacles, you really get to see what it is like at the bare bottom, you know. And it taught me a lot of lessons to focus on cash flow, not quitting my job too
Mm,
early, managing cash flow as well. And just by being consistent, actually, I remember very clearly the month May, we had like minus 3K in loss. And the next month in June, we actually hit the first 100K month, which is like such a big gap. But we managed to do it by just keeping consistent. Yeah, I remember it clearly. It was such life changing for me because that was actually the time in June at the end of the program, which I could actually could quit my job and also make consistent profits with dropshipping.
so you went from minus 3K in a month profit, or loss, to
Yeah.
100K in profit the month after.
Not profit, revenue.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So you do your first 100K month. This was right.
Yeah, so my first 100K month was last year in June. Yeah, that's also just shows how quickly it can go by just having one winning product. From 1 month before making loss, and now you're just making 100 grand like in revenue with like 30,000 net profit, and that was just life
Mm-hmm.
changing. I've never seen so much money at the time.
Because you was 20 years old then.
Yeah, I was 20. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, well, how did the rest of the year go for you? And did you keep building up on this momentum? And you were still only doing a Netherlands and Belgium market.
Yes. So last year I did only Netherlands, Belgium market. So I only had one store. So in June we did the 100K month. In July we hit it again. So back to back. And in August we did 150K. So I actually managed to keep that going very consistent. And I remember in August I already had some money going on, and Dennis told me even after the program, because we kept in contact some time, and he told me like you should go to Scandinavian countries, which was very big that back then for me. And I remember also at the time there was a payment solution called Agent, and
Mm.
it was a golden
Shit.
solution, but it
It was
didn't really
shit
end
show.
well. Yeah, so I can even share that as well. I had like very consistent months until August when I started working with Agent. That's when everything came crashing down. So yeah,
Mm.
I had to go through that as well.
Yeah. So what numbers were you doing at the time?
So in August, I did 150K a month.
So were you already building also more of people around you in your team, or and also were you like more the lone wolf, or did you have a business partner? How did you do it?
Um, I was still, to this day, I'm still working on my own. I don't have any business partners, but at the time, I already started networking with some friends from Elite, which are still good friends now. And yeah, we started actually making a WhatsApp group as well, where we just keep connecting with each other. So that helped me a lot as well, having people around you, building a network. And for the rest about my team, my first employee I hired in actually in June when I hit my first 100K month, which was a customer service representative. She actually still works with me until this day, which is very nice. And I hired my first product lister in July, so I was only with two VAs in my team.
Okay. So how did all of that grow for the rest of time? And of course, now we are 1.5 years later since you started, even. So yeah, I think the people are very curious to hear like what are you doing right now? How have things transformed for you? Yeah.
Yeah, so of course after the agent payment solution, it all went crashing down. So I had to really rebuild everything actually from Q4. So unfortunately, my Q4 last year wasn't that good. Which of course this year we are going to do much better because we've learned so many mistakes back then. So until now, actually going now to August this year, we're now doing consistently 200K a month, which I'm very proud of because I've actually had a lot of downs, ups and downs, but now doing that consistently is very good. I also have a team of 7 people now, and I recently also joined Samuel's mastermind in March. So yeah, we've been growing a lot actually since then.
Crazy, man. So yeah, I want to know as well. Of course, doing numbers is all nice, but what has now changed in your life? Compared to 1.5 years ago, and maybe what are your future plans? You want to start traveling, or tell me?
Yeah, so actually, my life is like a much more free and calm now. I basically can choose whatever I would like to do. I've done my first travel with my girlfriend last year, also when I hit like the first 100K month, and yeah, we keep that going consistently. So it showed me a lot of opportunities as well. So also being able to take my parents out for dinner. Yeah, we can go on vacation whenever we want. So it really opened a lot of doors for me as well. um, so yeah, that's basically what changed in my personal life. And my goals right now are Q4 we want to do 1 million. with 40% margin. So we're
Mm.
building a very good game plan for Q4. And yeah, later I want to travel a lot more around the world, of course, and also yeah, I want to move to Dubai as well.
Do you still just do clothing, or do you also now dip your toes into different niches? And do you operate one store, or are you also expanding in that regard?
Yeah, so we expanded a lot actually back since back then. Right now we have 4 stores, and actually right now we are live in yeah in Ireland. We are live in the UK, um, and also in Germany. So those are actually stores right now.
Nice. So yeah, what is the plan for you now going forward? Because of course you're in the mastermind. You've already done some solid numbers, but yeah, I think there's a lot more to achieve, right?
Yeah, so my plan right now is I want to make sure that my dropshipping stores are yeah doing consistent good numbers. Right now we're also building more on Google as well, so we're doing some Google stores. And the plan, of course, is I want to make a transition to branded dropshipping because general dropshipping is I always think as like it's quick money because at the beginning it's like a stepping stone, but after a while when you've made good profits, you've get like the you get the basics. You don't really need like the quick money. You want to build something long term. So that's also what I would like to focus on more. So
Yeah, I
right
think
now, yeah,
yeah for you it's now just building to a higher number of revenue, and then from there, once you have really consolidated at, let's say, half a million, a million, or a million and a half, like consistently good profit, then I would start looking for a brand, because it's on the long term, it's better, and it brings way more peace, and you, of course, you build something that holds more value, because drop shipping is the best stepping stone there is. But yeah, it's a lot of solving problems too, and a lot of you searching for the next product, or you yeah, trying to find the next solution for an issue, and with a brand that's way more stable. So yeah, of you now doing I think it's a year and a half in ecom, maybe it's good for the
yeah,
people who are listening or watching to share maybe a lesson that maybe you in the beginning, or a mistake you made and now you have a lesson out of it, that you can share, or maybe something you would have done different, or perhaps something that in the end made a big change for you within your ecom business.
yeah, exactly. So of course, the first lesson, which is pretty clear, is in the beginning. If you don't have like a stable income, make sure that you always have like a side job that generates some income when you're investing, because in the beginning you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. So make sure that you always have like an income from a side job. And the thing actually, which I would also recommend, is actually be more interested and also yeah, be more eager to learn. Because what I've noticed actually in my program is yeah, I've actually missed out on asking more questions. You should be very curious and you want to know more and also do more, because in the beginning sometimes you think you've done everything that you could, but trust me, there's much more to do. You can go actually 10x by doing much more.
Yeah,
So I would
that's good
suggest
advice.
try keep testing more things. Yeah, like keep
Yeah.
testing more things, new strategies, new offers. There's much more you can do actually than you think.
Yeah, what I always like to say is, like, many people, they look, everyone wants the result, but in order to get the result and in order to become better than the rest, it's good to really try to become good at this thing. Don't only try
Yeah,
to find one thing that works and then that's that, but really try to understand, like, the strategies, ecom, what are other people selling, why is it working for them, and then you can try to find an edge. Because, well, also for you, from going from 200 a month, 200K to 500 or 1 million, it's not a, it seems big, but it's not. It's like one small change and boom, you can go there, because you can, if it works and you put more budget behind it, you know how fast you can scale, right? So
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, that's a good one. So yeah, very good interview. I think yeah, we'll see more growth of you in the future, perhaps. Yeah, with time, help you build that brand. And
Yeah.
yeah, maybe is there something you want to share to the people? Yeah, that is maybe yeah for you made a big shift, or just in general for people who might say, oh, I don't know if ecom worked. They have tried it just like you one time, and they lost some money, and then they went back to a job. Now I've tried it. Yeah, some words for them.
Yeah, I would say always keep in mind your why. Like, why did you start in the first place, and what is it that you would like to achieve? And really keep that also during like the times that it's not going so well. Like you said, when you tried it but it says now it doesn't work, it's really about keeping consistent, and also keep pushing, because your why should already be so strong that there is no way out. So I would say keep consistent, do more actually. And if you keep consistent, what I've seen in the past, it just works. Even after making 3 months of loss, if you just keep pushing, it will work. And also try to yeah, keep track of what you're doing already and do more of that.
Yeah.
Just go down on what's working. It's so simple, but it works. It's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, great, bro. You can be proud on yourself, and also because you've done exactly what you just said, right? Just keep pushing and know your
Yeah.
why, even when it's not going your way. And I think it's also good for people to hear a story like yours, because then they see that okay, everyone's journey is different,
It's
because
different.
you
Yeah.
you can compare yourself with the ones who blow up to 100k plus a month in their first month. It's
Yeah.
possible. But I did my first 1k day after only 10 months, and you are now you did your first 200k month after a year and a half or so, right? So
Yeah, it took a long time. It really shows that
yeah,
the journey is different for everyone else, and that also you have to face these obstacles to get like thick skin. So I think
yeah,
it's
and
good.
and you know why it's good, and it doesn't matter, because if you know that you will be here for the long run, then it doesn't matter if you get it now, if you get it in a half a year or a year, because you know that you will get it. And that should be the mindset for everyone, right? Because perhaps right now you jump to 1 million in a month in the next 2 months, and then everyone is like, what is Jake is doing? It's too crazy. But then they don't see this, right?
I don't
So
see the struggles. No,
yeah.
it's indeed what I thought so as well. Like that's also what I wanted to share. Share the downfalls as well. Of course, the wins. You've you've done the good things. You want to share that as well. But I think it's also very inspiring to show behind the scenes, basically.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah,
Yeah,
Jake, thanks for your time. Of course, thanks for keep pushing through with our help, and yeah, we'll keep in touch with you, man, in the mastermind, and yeah, hope to see more of you.
definitely, bro. Thank you so much.
Thank you, bro.